Hello, welcome to Elegant Sentiments. I'm Cheryl, the owner of Elegant Sentiments, and I'm here today sharing a new card. I'm going to be using some products from Lisa Horton Crafts and Spellbinders to create another easy and elegant card. So let's go ahead and get started. So here we are. I have today from Spellbinders, I have one of their new cutting dies. This one is called Layered Happy Birthday, and that's what I used for my sentiment. I also have from Lisa Horton Crafts, one of her new die sets. This one is called Mini Compositions 2, and this is the rectangle set of mini composition dies. And then for my background, I use the Dimensional Squares 3D embossing folder. So these are the core products that I used for today's card. And then for my ink colors, Lisa Horton Crafts has a monthly color combo that they issue every month. And this month they're using the interference inks. And so I'm using Summer Garden, Sweet Treat Shimmer, and Tropical Paradise Shimmer. Those are the three June color of the month over at Lisa Horton Crafts. So these are the colors that I'm going to be using today. And then here is my project. So a really simple, sweet, and elegant little card that we're going to make. And I have done some homework already in preparation. I did do all of the die cutting and the embossing. So this is an A2 size card. So I just have my A2 size card base. And then here is my panel that I have embossed using the Dimensional Squares embossing folder. And this piece I think is, I think it's 3 3/4 by 4. I don't really know, to be honest. I know it's a different size than I normally would use. Yeah, this is about 3 1/2 by 4 1/2. So that's the size of this panel. And then I did ink up the happy birthday. I die cut that in white, and then I inked it up using the Summer Garden down here at the bottom and the Sweet Treat to get a little variegated look on my sentiment. And then I die cut from the dies. I die cut this flower, and I did that 3 times. That's this one. No, I did this one once actually, and then I did this die twice, and that's these two. And then I die cut the rectangle 3 times, and then the little inner piece. So those are all the die cuts for today's project. And let me move this stuff out of the way because we don't need that right now. And then I'm going to bring in my little tacky mat and my little sticky mat, and we'll get some ink blending done onto these die cut pieces. So I have these pieces, and I'm going to ink them all the same way. And then I've got the little florals that I'm going to ink up, and that will be all the inking that we need to do for today's card. So I'm going to start with, I think I'm going to start with the Sweet Treat Shimmer and the Summer Garden, because these are the 2 colors that I put on the rectangles. And so we'll start with those. And really all I did was just inked these colors in the opposite corners. So I've got the Sweet Treat in the opposite corners, and then I filled in the gaps with the Summer Garden. Really simple inking. And these pads are nice and juicy I don't know if you're familiar with Lisa Horton interference inks, but these inks will show a different color depending upon the cardstock that you use. So with a lighter cardstock, as you can see on the lid with this one, you'll get the yellow on the white cardstock, and then if you put this same color onto dark cardstock, you'll get a pinky color. Really, really phenomenal, and they just have a really super shine. So that's it for the sweet treat, and then I'll come in with the summer garden and just fill in the blanks with the summer garden. Really super easy inking on this. And these pieces have they have a lot of shimmer. And I'm going to hold it up to the camera when I'm done and see some of the time. Well, I can see the cast of the pink in the yellow, and then the summer garden has like a teal, it's a green and a teal color. And depending upon the angle, when you look at it on white card, you can see the undertone of that other color showing through. So I'm going to hold it up when I get done inking here and see if we can actually see that color shining through on camera. You can definitely see it when you're in person, but I don't know how if it'll even translate onto the camera, but we will take a peek and see. Okay, so we have those all inked up, and then I'm going to try and tilt this and see if any of the maybe that angle a little. I don't think you can, the camera's not picking it up, but in person you can see the undertones of, maybe if I bend it a little bit there, you can see the teal. See if we can get the little pinky undertones. You can see it just barely. But there is that pretty, it's very pretty, and it's very shimmery as well. So I love the interference inks for those properties. Very nice. And these are great for if you do if you like backgrounds with the splatters and spatters with water and alcohol. Those are perfect for that too. So now we're going to do our little florals here, and we're just going to ink the leafy part with the green, and then we'll do so here I'm just going to take a little mini brush and just ink the stems and leaves on these with this summer garden, and turn that around. Just using a little detail brush here to get this ink on this little die cut. So cute. And I like it when you can get great little detail, but it's not fussy. And that's just the way these are. So we're going to do that, and then we'll do this flower the same way, get the stems and the leaves and ink them up with the green Summer Garden ink. And we're going to make all of our rose buds Tropical Paradise. We'll have that nice pink color. And then the other buds, some we're going to do tropical pink, and some we will do, so let's do the tropical pink ones first. The little tulip looking buds, we're going to make those tropical pink. And then the other buds on these two die cuts, we'll have those be Sweet Treat. Cute little dainty flowers. Let me get that out of the way. There we go. And we've got one more over here that we'll do. And then we can do the sweet treat. Let me find a detail brush for my sweet treat. Hang on, let's see here. I'm sure I got one somewhere that I can use. Well, this one is not super small, but it's smaller than the others. So I'll use this one for the these get the sweet treat onto. I'm trying to find a place that doesn't have any ink on it. There. Just get these flowers. Are going to be our yellow. Move that. The sweet treat. So this is that June color combo. And I kind of like them together, nice and bright. So that is all of the inking that we have to do for today's card. So I'm going to move these off of my mat. And then I'll bring in my panel and we'll start putting things together. I'll get this. We'll go ahead and take all of these out of the way. And I'm going to take this panel, we'll put this panel together first, and then we'll do these other pieces. So for this, I'm just going to add this piece here, and I'll put this center in. So I'm going to use some glue on this part. Hope you're having a great day, great week, whenever it is you're watching this video, and enjoying life. We only get one, so why not enjoy it, I say. And I'm more concerned about the outer edges than anything else on this piece. I'll put some few dots here and there, but as long as that outer rim is down, I'm going to be satisfied. And just kind of sticking that up towards the top of the panel and in the center like that. And I'll hold that there for a second or two and let that let the glue grab. And then I'll ink up the back of this die cut piece and put it in the center. I love cards that come together quickly, and this is one of those. You just do a few die cuts and a little bit of ink and you're good to go. And I'm just sticking that down there in the center. And I'll hold that a little. Give that glue a chance to set. And then I'm going to come in with this little single floral, the little tulips, and put some glue. You can make your life easier and die cut this using the double-sided adhesive sheets, but I just die cut them and add a little bit of glue. And we're going to stick this right in the center of this little square that I've made into a diamond by changing the orientation. I've got a little fuzzy hanging on there. There we go. And then we'll do the sentiment next. And I'm going to add some foam tape to the back of this sentiment. Let me find my tape here. Here we go. And I got a little piece already to get me started. And this is the thinner foam tape. I can't remember the actual thickness on this one, but it's not as thick as the foam tape that I normally use, because I want this to be a little bit closer to the card front than my typical. Oops, I need to cut that down. That little piece was trimmed already from when I did the sample. So we'll put a piece of this down. And I'll probably snip a little piece for this corner over here. Trim that down and just add a teeny little piece right here. There we go. And I can just stick this little teeny piece right there. There. And then I'm going to add this here. And before I take the backing off, I just want to kind of do a dry fit on this to make sure I don't need to cut anywhere. I'm just going to stick that under like so. And for this one, it'll go up here. So yeah. Okay, so I think I'm good there. Now I know where to actually put my sentiment on my panel. It's going to be on the bottom third of my panel if you do quadrants at all. Okay. And then I just want to kind of make sure that's in the center. So I'm going to stand up over this and a little piece of something there. And make sure this is straight. At least I'm just going to eyeball it. I'm not going to get out a T-ruler or anything like that. But that, oops. There, that looks pretty good. And then we'll just tuck these underneath. I'm not gluing down these florals all the way, just kind of getting the base part stuck down, because I like the look of having that floral floating a little bit. And I'm trying to do is lift up this corner just a wee bit and tuck that under. And I don't know that I'm going to be successful. I think I'll be okay. And tuck that, because I want that kind of sitting underneath like that. There, put that back down. And then we'll tuck this one on the other side. And stick it underneath. You know what? I think on this one, I did nip off this little piece here, because I wanted it to be down in there like that. Here we go. And then these flowers and leaves are kind of, they can be fluffed a little bit. So that is the front panel. And then we're going to put this on the card front using some more of this thin foam tape. So I'm going to go ahead and add some strips of that to, oops, let me put this glue away because it's going to dry. and not be happy. There we go. And then I'm going to put several strips of this foam tape. I wish I had some wider of this thinner tape, but I don't. So we just have to go with what we got. I just don't want it high up off my panel. I really want it close to the panel. So let's see, I'll do the middle and then I'll do the ends or in between. End up putting about 5 strips down on this. And that'll give it the stability that I want it to have. Because this one will probably be mailed. Oops, a little wonky there, but it's okay. Okay. And then, so we've got our panel ready for the card front. And then this time I don't do this often, but I'm actually going to work directly on the card front. I usually have another panel, but these I'm just going to add directly to the card front in those corners. And again, I'm really just focusing getting the glue on those corners all around. And I guess I could put a little bit like that. And I'm just edging this up with the corner of the card front and down that side, and then just holding it in place until the glue grabs. And then I'll do the same thing with the other side of the card front. Super simple, but I love an easy design that ends up looking very elegant. And sweet. This one just has a little sweet look to it that I'm really enjoying. And if you wanted, you could emboss your card front to give, if you want, additional texture. But I think behind, let me see, I think I want to put this way. If you want additional texture on this part of the card, but I think the texture that's on the panel itself is plenty. And wiggle that just a wee bit. Come back, come back, come back. There we go. I want it right on those edges. Okay, and then to finish this up, we'll just add our panel to the card front, and this one will be done. Super quick and easy. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you do, please give me a thumbs up and give me your feedback. Let me know what you think. If you have ideas to enhance the project or either way, just let me know your thoughts. Oh, I had some glue on my fingers. I have to take a rubber. And then I'm just going to put this down in between the 2 rectangles there. Or I guess they're squares. There we go. I'm trying to make sure that's straight. Looks pretty straight. Yeah. There we go. So that is the project for today. I hope I am going to take a sand eraser right now before I forget and get this little piece of uh, glue off of there. I don't know what I did there. There we go. Okay, there. So there we go. That is today's project. I hope that you like it. Again, thank you so much for being here. Please check out my blog. I am at elegantsentiments.com and my Facebook page, Elegant Sentiments Limited. I'm there at least once a week, every week. And I thank you so much for being here and watching my video. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and we will see you next time. Bye for now.